Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Martinsville Speedway here in Ridgeway, Virginia, as we are here for the 13th race of the season in the first season of the Wawa Pro Series. This is the Virginia 65K, 77 laps around the 0.526 mile speedway. The second shortest track on the circuit and the third short track of the season, the final short track of the season. Both short tracks have been won by Dylan Young coming up to this point. The only downside for Dylan Young here tonight is that he starts in the 23rd position, so more than likely we're going to see a different short track winner here tonight, and could very well be our points leader, Jesse Turner, who starts in the 3rd position. He finished runner-up in the sprint race last night, grabbed the second fastest time, tied with Zachary Fitzwater, but Fitzwater won the sprint race, therefore he got the second starting position, which is exactly where he started last night in the sprint race, went on the lead every single lap. I don't think we're going to see a dominating performance out of a driver, at least in that regard, here tonight. Going to be a little bit more wild here in the 77 lap event, as these guys are going to have a little bit of difficulty holding that inside lane through the corners. We're going to see a lot of sliding up off the exit of the corners, and we're probably going to see a bit more passing for the race lead and throughout the racetrack here tonight. But starting up front is still very important here with this being a short track, and I do believe the winner of this race is still going to come from the top 10, and especially Jesse Turner there is a guy to watch out for, who won the last feature event here in the Wawa Pro Series and took the points lead away from the field. He comes in with now a 4-point lead. He grabbed 2 points in the championship in that sprint race last night, so he now has a 4-point lead on Noah Clifton, but Noah Clifton also starts relatively up front in this event. I believe he starts in the 7th position, which is the same exact place he started last night in the sprint race. Hunter Braxton has been falling off. He starts midway through the field here tonight, is 10 points behind. And then 12 points behind is Chris Reynolds, as you see right there, starting in the 6th position. And then Seth Cole, 25 points behind. The only other driver with a mathematical shot at taking the points lead at the end of the night. Nathan Faden, 27 points behind, is out of the range, I should say, taking that points lead here tonight. But we're still 3 races left to go in the season. However, if Turner wins tonight and things go his way again in Michigan next week, he could theoretically clinch the championship a race early. He's got to have 30 points heading into the final race in order to do so. If you account for all the points a driver can get, they can get 29 total points in an event between the sprint race, getting the fastest lap in the feature event, and winning the feature event. So if you have a 30-point lead on somebody heading into the sprint race of the final race, you're guaranteed to still have more points than them exiting that whole event. So we'll have to see if that does happen, but we're going to cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, we're going to cross the Martinsville Bridge, and it's going to be an interesting race with Ryan Durrani starting on the pole position right near the end of the sprint race. Grab the fastest time. He's going to be starting alongside the winner of that sprint race, Zachary Fitzwater. Watch out for Fitzwater here on this one. He could have a shot at getting the race victory, but also watch out for Jesse Turner there in the number 17. Starting to the inside of Thomas Troxel in row number 2. That's a great place to start here in Martinsville in that 3rd position. And Turner could very well win 2 races in a row here in the Wawa Pro Series. Brendan Wilmington and Chris Reynolds in row number 3. Haven't seen much of Brendan Wilmington this season. As a matter of fact, well, actually, he's up there in the points. He's 65 behind with only 38 total points on the season, but he spent a lot of the season near the bottom of the field in terms of the point standings. And, of course, Chris Reynolds there starting alongside him comes into this race 12 points behind. He is the highest driver in points without a race victory this season, and the driver with the best average finishing position with 8.17 in the feature events. Noah Clifton there has won more races than anyone this season with 3 wins. He's going for his 4th tonight. He's to the inside of Dan Park. And then you got Trey Wright and Nathan Faden starting inside top 10 there. He's 27 behind, but still very much in the championship fight, especially if he can finish ahead of Jesse Turner inside the top 10. Right behind him, it's Priya McShane and Vlad Prescott starting in row number 6. Vlad Prescott won at the Charlotte Motor Speedway earlier this season, and still has a shot at this championship, only 45 points behind, but this guy also has a good shot, 25 points behind. If he wins, Turner falls outside the top 10, and Seth Cole gets the fastest lap. He could take the points lead heading into Michigan, but a lot has to happen for that to occur. He's alongside Will Parrish. You got William Brock, Brandon Nelson, Hunter Braxton there, 10 points behind to the inside of Christian Masters, Zach Winkle, Nathan Stapleton, Logan Williams, Nathan Orman, Dylan Young, and Ethan Lewis. Like I mentioned, Dylan Young has won the first 2 short tracks of the season. New Smyrna and Richmond. Doesn't look like he's going to win this one, but hey, stranger things have happened. It's 77 laps, and a lot can happen here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. We're green flag racing in the Virginia 65K. Durrani is going to lead the first lap, but Turner is not going to waste any time going to the front, to the inside of Ryan Durrani for the race lead. You got Brendan Wilmington there in the 19, looking to the inside of Fitzwater. Fitzwater did not get the jump that he had last night. And Durrani was able to get that first lap, but a little bit more of an orderly start there, I feel like, than what we had in last night's sprint race. But Turner in the position right now. Durrani, though, gonna cut back to the inside of him as Turner washes it up the racetrack. Like I said, we're gonna see a little bit more of that washing up tonight than we did last night. And already, we're seeing these guys swap positions for the race lead side by side as they come across the line. Turner led that one, but nothing really matters in terms of leading laps except the last one. Durrani washes up. Now Wilmington gonna move to the inside, and Turner had a run to the inside of Durrani, but Wilmington was there, and Turner had nowhere to go. And now Fitzwater back in the mix here, as all 4 of these guys under a blanket here for the race lead in Martinsville. You'll run about 50 laps tonight, so if this race stays green up to that point, we could see green flag pit stops, and things could get really interesting in terms of the pit strategy if we get to that point here tonight. But how about Brennan Wilmington in the 19, but he's going to wash it up there. And Fitzwater's going to have a nose to the inside of him. Turner going to try to get back to the inside of Durrani as he heads in the turn number 1, and he's going to bump him out of the way, and Fitzwater back to the inside of Wilmington. So in terms of the championship, Turner is still holding on to the points lead, but if you look behind, you see Noah Clifton as Wilmington smashes the outside wall, and Fitzwater drives away. Now, here's an interesting thing in terms of the all-time wins list battle. If Fitzwater wins tonight, he will tie Jesse Turner. Again, he had the opportunity to do that at Road America. However, Turner won that race. Turner was 2 wins ahead, but then Fitzwater won last night in the sprint race, and now if Fitzwater wins this, they're going to both be at 24 career wins. And Turner here in second place doesn't want that to happen. He wants to get the race victory tonight and pull away in this championship, but Brendan Wilmington wants to turn his season around and get a race victory. He's going to push Turner up the racetrack just a little bit right there. I'm sure Turner's not going to be happy with that, but Fitzwater is definitely going to be happy with what he's seeing behind him. Pulling out to an 0.8 of a second lead here on lap number 9. And they're still trying to figure all this out back in here. Now, Clifton is in the points right now, currently running 8th. However, he's behind Turner. And, losing points to anyone, especially this late in the season, is not what you want to do, especially if you're Noah Clifton. Jesse Turner is struggling out there on that outside lane as these guys kind of swarm around him. Brendan Wilmington, Thomas Troxel, Ryan Durrani, all kind of in line to possibly get around him. Chris Reynolds in a very good position here if he can get around the 17 machine to possibly take the points lead himself. Only 12 behind Turner coming into this race. And the thing about Reynolds, he has not gone the victory lane yet this season in a feature event. He has won. I do believe he's won a sprint race so far this season. Oh, but Turner going to get back to the inside there. And he's going to fight back on the inside of Thomas Troxel. Now, tire wear will also come into effect for these guys as well. And once the tires start to wear out, that's when they start to kind of settle into their respective positions. Wilmington way wide again. Remember, he hit the outside wall not too long ago. You see that little bit of damage to the number 19 machine. But Troxel and Turner are going to try to close in on him right here. I think Troxel's going to have a run, and he's probably going to dive bomb it in the turn number 1. He's going to get that nose off the exit. At least try to do so. Wilmington getting that outside lane to work. That outside lane starts to work in a little bit better once the tires wear out. Turner there in the number 17. He might have a run here on Troxel. He had a very good entry in the turn number 3. Now, this is a crazy track, and of course, we've gone caution-free so far in this race. However, you don't want to get caught up in someone else's mess. When the Cup Series came here last year, Nicholas Samadillo dominated the event. but then right near the end of the race, ran into a car that had essentially wrecked in turn number 3. He could not avoid him, and wrecked himself out of the race. The win went to somebody else. I believe it was Jordan Lopez that night. So nothing is guaranteed when you come to the Martinsville Speedway. Jesse Turner trying to take third away from Thomas Troxel. And I think, at least in Turner's case, Fitzwater's not really a guy he's concerned about in this championship. So if there's anyone, even these guys he's racing with, Wilmington, Troxel, Durrani, he does not want Chris Reynolds or Noah Clifton to win this race. But as long as Turner finishes ahead of him, I think that's a W for this team. And he's doing a good job holding on to this position. Now going up to the second position here as he moves to the inside of Brendan Wilmington. Fitzwater now has a 2-second lead, though, on the field. Turner going to slide Wilmington up a little bit there, and that could allow Troxel to take third from the 19. And Turner himself going to slide up the racetrack, and they're going to be 3 wide, and Turner's around in the number 17. Oh, no. That is huge. That is huge. Turner might fall all the way to the end of the field there because of that. Just like I was saying, you never know what can happen here. And battling with Wilmington and Troxel, Jesse Turner gets taken out. Oh my goodness. Well, Fitzwater wins the race back to the line. And in terms of the fuel window, this is right on the money here. We got 56 to go. Or should I say 58 to go. This is a little bit lengthy right here. Oh my, that is huge. That is huge right there. And some of these guys getting into each other. Seth Cole's got a lot of rear end damage. Somebody ran into him. Now Turner, I think, is trying to get back into his respective positions, and he may have been the one who ran into Seth Cole, trying to do so. So it just went from bad to worse for Jesse Turner. That may just end his night. Let's see what happened on the replay cam there. What a disaster for Jesse Turner, who came into this race the points leader. Now, the good thing about this point system, only the top 10 finishers receive points, so he could still theoretically leave the points leader, and the guy who spun him is going to take the race lead. Brendan Wilmington there. Turner washed up the racetrack. Wilmington and Troxel both got to the inside of him, and there was just not enough room for any of that to occur. So we're going to have to see if Turner... I mean, they may just leave that hood the way it is, but that was definitely an interesting moment right there. Fitzwater going to be second. Troxel, Durrani, Reynolds. Now, this is perfect for Chris Reynolds in this championship. We're going to have to see if that 22 can, in fact, take the points lead. The end of the night, some guy's going to end up a lap down as the pit lane is just so small, and we're going to have 4 guys kind of in between the rest of the field here. That's what happens here at the Martinsville Speedway. So Wilmington and Fitzwater are going to kind of be out on their own right there, and you got Winkle, Ormond, Master, and Stapleton all a lap down. Turner is still within range to receive points. He's not done, but he lost a lot of ground right there. And it's going to be interesting to see if he can regain any of that back. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the night here. First caution in a while here in this series, I think. And the first caution that we've had in a race on the channel in a while, at least. I know that much. Brendan Wilmington, Thomas Troxel kind of getting up in the Jesse Turner, and Turner going around here early on in the Virginia 65K. And you're going to see right here, that number 17 of Jesse Turner, it's going a little too wide. And then Wilmington had a run, and Troxel was there to the inside of him. It just doesn't work out. Jesse Turner going around there off of Wilmington, and Troxel actually had nothing to do with it right there. That was pretty much on Wilmington trying to split the middle. And then, you'll see right here, and you probably saw this as it happened live. I don't know if I put this in the corner of the screen, but as they kind of collected, that was the next lap around. So you probably saw it on the corner of your screen right there when it happened between Turner and Seth Cole. Turner was the one who ran into Seth Cole there at the end of all that is Turner, actually, this was the race back to the line, so Turner kind of got back in line, essentially, and he had crossed the line inside the top 10. He lost some positions there from all that. But you're going to see him right here. Yeah, Seth Cole is peeking down, and Turner just ran right into him. And that's where Turner grabbed his damage from that incident. We'll have to see if that affects him. He's still on the lead lap, but a lot's going to have to go his way in order for him to turn this thing around here at Martinsville. We'll see right here in real time. We saw it happen in real time as it happened. And Troxel was the one kind of shot up into Wilmington there. So I might not be right about that not being Troxel's fault. Wilmington was kind of just there, and Troxel was like, I'll help you out there, buddy. Minor incident, but it is huge in terms of the championship. We're still early on in this race. Brendan Wilmington, actually I should say Zachary Fitzwater, your race leader here at Martinsville. Let's see what he does on the restart here in the Virginia 65K. Back here at the Martinsville Speedway, we are going to restart on lap 24 of 77 here in the Virginia 65K. And a massive moment there in terms of the championship. It's not, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's not like Turner's going to lose the championship because of that. Or it's not that he's guaranteed to lose the championship, I should say. He could lose the championship because of that, but it's not a guarantee. Will Parrish ahead of him will have an issue, so that's going to give him an opportunity to move up another position. But Brendan Wilmington, Zachary Fitzwater, and then you got these four guys a lap down. Troxel, Durrani, Reynolds, Trey Wright, McShane. And there's a shuffle there between Clifton and Seth Cole. Clifton was supposed to be ahead of Seth Cole, and then you got Dan Park rounding out the top 10. And there you see Turner not wasting any time getting to the inside of Vlad Prescott, but Clifton just got into Dan Park. And they did penalize Seth Cole for jumping the restart. And Hunter Braxton's around in the 1. That was ugly. Everything about that restart was ugly, but Turner did move himself back in the points and get around Noah Clifton. So that worked out in Turner's favor. But a wild sequence of events right there for the entire field. Wilmington's going to come down. Now the strategy is going to really get wacky because Wilmington's down. Fitzwater is staying out. Turner's also coming down. I'm wondering if coming down is going to be the advantage here. But Turner's going to lose that ground he made up. However, he may be able to make it to the end of the race now. I don't think the guys who are staying out are going to be able to make it to the end of the race. The only problem is these guys have to be careful not to go a lap down. So I would just pack it full of fuel. It shouldn't take too long, just a couple seconds of fuel. Get right out there, and that's exactly what Brendan Wilmington's doing. Ethan Lewis, Ryan Durrani. And imagine that's what Turner's going to do right here in the number 17 machine. I'm going to follow with him right here. Oh, this isn't looking good. Yeah. That's all he was doing there, was just some fuel. But the good thing he's not going to go a lap down. But I don't know if he's going to get any points here tonight. Now you have the guys who are a lap down. They're going to get out of the way. So now we're going to be essentially back in order once we get back to racing. So let's see what happened to bring out the second caution of the night here in the Virginia 65K right out of the restart. Seth Cole jumped the start. He came down the pit lane, but the caution came out right when that happened. So he ended up getting back after he stayed out. So he didn't really lose too much from all that. Just a mess on the restart. Let's see what happened to bring out the second caution. And then right here on the restart, you see the 24 of Seth Cole kind of jump to the inside of Clifton. He got penalized for this. And, yeah, not sure what to think about that, but then right behind him, Clifton got into Dan Park. It was like, I want my position back. Seth Cole took it away from me there, and that is what brought out the yellow flag. And then Hunter Braxton got caught up, I think, with Dylan Young. We'll go ahead and check in on that one right there. And Ethan Lewis just got stuck there on the curb. What happened there to bring out the caution? And we'll see right here once again. Pretty straightforward what happened. Dan Park just overshot the corner, and Noah Clifton was there, and Clifton was not happy about it. Obviously was already frustrated at the fact that Seth Cole passed him when he shouldn't have. And then you see the 11 going around there. Jesse Turner in the 17 grabbing a couple of positions right there, but we got an odd strategy going on with these guys, so we'll have to see. He came down the pit lane. Well, some guys stayed out here under this caution. That could definitely come into effect later on in the race. And right here, They jammed up. Seth Cole was coming down because he got penalized, and then they checked up, and Dylan Young just got in the Hunter Braxton there. Nothing too major, but obviously you see the damage already to the one machine of Hunter Braxton, who's had a tough season so far. I mean, he's third in points, but it's been tough as of late for him, and it continues to get worse for Hunter Braxton, who still has a shot at the championship. If he gets one race win, if he wins next week, he could be the points leader heading into Darlington. Who knows how it'll all shake out, but let's go ahead and get back to the restart. Here at Martinsville, Brendan Wilmington out front in the 19. Back here once again at the Martinsville Speedway after our second caution in a very interesting pileup between Noah Clifton and Dan Park right there. That's what initially triggered the caution, but Clifton was probably not too happy with Seth Cole, who jumped the start on the number 21 machine. The good thing is now all those lap cars are out of the way, so everyone's kind of in line here. Fitzwater, McShane, Faden, Williams, Clifton, Park, Lewis, and then you got Brendan Wilmington, the first guy who came down the pit lane. So some guys there stayed out, and it's that top 6 who all stayed out, whereas Ethan Lewis is a lap down, so my apologies for counting him there. But the top 6 all still probably have to make another stop in this race. Everyone who came down from Wilmington on back can probably make it to the end. But Fitzwater is hoping there's enough yellow in this event that he can pull away and get something to go his way. And same with Noah Clifton. He's now kind of playing a pretty interesting chess game here in terms of the championship, trying to get that points lead from Turner. Will he be able to get a top 10 finish in this race? There is Jesse Turner, currently in the 14th position, getting around some lap cars here. Ethan Lewis, Zach Winkle, Will Parrish, Nathan Orman, Nathan Stapleton, Christian Master, all a lap down. Everybody else still on the lead lap, including Seth Cole, who I do believe they have handed another penalty to, as he is down the pit lane. So Seth Cole is now going to go a lap down, as Chris Reynolds going to move inside the points right here. So now you got Reynolds moving inside the point standings, or should I say inside the points, with this move here on Brandon Nelson. And he should be able to make it to the end of the race. Same with Turner, same with Trey right here, same with Vlad Prescott. All those guys came down the pit lane, topped off on fuel. Thing is, I just don't think this race is going to stay green. We had a pass for the race lead. You saw that in the corner of your screen. And Priya McShane now out front here at Martinsville with Nathan Faden. Now, Faden's another guy, only 27 behind in the championship, who's going to have a good shot here. Logan Williams here in the 6th, as they all try to get around Zachary Fitzwater, who dominated earlier on in this event. He's kind of fallen off just a little bit right now. So Nathan Faden there in the number 99 machine, holding on the 2nd, but he's got some damage right there. That doesn't really matter too much here at Martinsville. They are keeping it relatively orderly right now. Jesse Turner's 9th, though, has really gone all over the place. He's going to try to get another position right here on Trey Wright. That would be for the 13th position if he could hold on to it. But with the top 6 pretty much needing to come down the pit lane again before the end of this race, there's a good chance that Turner could finesse his way into a top 10 run here tonight. Here comes Logan Williams, though, for 2nd. We're going to treat it right now as a battle for the race lead between all these guys. Just don't know if they're going to have enough fuel in the tank to make it to the end of the race. Zachary Fitzwater here in the number 4 machine, trying to find his way back inside the top 3, and Noah Clifton kind of just waiting for something to happen. Dan Park was kind of caught up in that little skirmish there with Clifton under the 2nd caution. But then you got the guys who came down the pit lane, and they are still led by Brendan Wilmington, and all these guys are generally keeping it pretty orderly. Will Parrish going to move to the inside, but he is a lap down, and now that's going to open the door for Turner to get around Trey Wright for that 13th position. So Chris Reynolds kind of holding in line right there. 4th in line of the guys who made that stop under the last caution. Ryan Durrani trying to close in. Our pole sitter, by the way, closing in on Brendan Wilmington for that position, as Logan Williams is closing in on Priya McShane for the race lead, but Fitzwater got a nice run to the inside. We're now past halfway in this race. Only 77 laps, a bit shorter than some of the races of the past here at Martinsville. But I forgot just how wild and crazy it can get here in terms of the NR racing, at least on this version of Martinsville. We come here for a reason. We saw last night. Last night was just single file the whole night. I told you guys that tonight was going to be something else. So Fitzwater holding on here to the third position, trying to get around Logan Williams for second. Be something if any of these guys could pull it off to the end of the race, especially if this race stays green. If this race stays green, I don't think these guys are going to have any chance. Oh boy. But will it stay green? That's the big question. It's going to take a lot for that to happen, I do believe. These guys have been a little antsy tonight here at the Martinsville Speedway. Fitzwater to the inside for second on Logan Williams. Nathan Faden is there as it's crazy between all the guys who came down. They're 3 wide as Troxel moves to the inside of Wilmington and Durrani, and they both go hard in the outside wall, but they keep it straight. So Wilmington now with more damage. That's the second run-in between Wilmington and Troxel tonight. Of course, the first one was when they spun Turner around. And speaking of Turner, he fell off a little bit right there. Dylan Young got around him, and Young is on the same strategy as those guys. So Turner may not get any points tonight. The big question for him, will Reynolds? Well, Reynolds will probably definitely get some points here in this race. As Prescott with a bold move to the inside of Durrani right there. You might be seeing Troxel get the race win here if things play out. But a lot has to play out in order for anything to really happen in this race. McShane going to get around Master there as Fitzwater and Faden both getting around Logan Williams. So Fitzwater now up to second. Just will they have enough fuel? That's the big question. McShane's got to be careful not to lose too much time as the yellow is back out. Somebody went around somewhere, but whoever it was either has left the building or got back around and is just fine. So McShane is going to take the pace car here, but I would imagine that these guys who stayed out are going to come down. The big question is, will everyone else come down the pit lane? That's going to be led by the number 10 to Thomas Troxel as they sort it out behind him. May actually be led by Reynolds here. Reynolds is going to stay out, but Troxel's going to come down. So a lot of these guys, I mean, Wilmington's got a ton of damage, but Turner's going to stay out here. And Turner's going to try to stretch it and get this one. This race is turned over on its head completely. Chris Reynolds is going to take the race lead, and Turner's going to be second with William Brock. And then I think those are the only 2 guys on the lead lap who stayed out here. So Fitzwater, I do believe, won the race off of the guys who came down. So, oh no, McShane did. But they're going to have a ton of lap cars in between them and the 2 race leaders of Reynolds and Turner. But we got a lot of lap cars in this race right now, and that is really going to shake things up as this race goes along. So not exactly sure what happened to bring out the caution. 30 laps to go in this race. And 3 guys stayed out. Reynolds, Turner, and William Brock. Everybody else came down. McShane is 4th. So those guys who stayed out may have gotten lucky there with that caution, because a lot of the other guys came down as well. Well, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the 3rd caution of the night here in the Virginia 65K, and then get to the restart here at Martinsville. And you're going to see what happened right here. Vlad Prescott actually overshoots the corner and gets in the Durrani, and this shouldn't have been a caution, realistically speaking, but it's going to really shake this field up because only 3 guys stayed out here. And that could really get interesting, but yeah, that's... He kept going. We could have avoided a yellow there, but instead, the field has completely turned over on its head, because now you got Reynolds, Turner, and Brock who all stayed out, and everyone else came down the top off. So we know those guys are good. We think that Reynolds, Turner, and Brock are good, but it's about a 50-lap fuel run, so they're right on the edge. But another thing is, will the tires come into effect? We'll just have to find out when we get to the restart. But let's go ahead and replay this in real time, and then get to the restart here at Martinsville. And we'll see what happened here. The Vlad Prescott, number 8 machine. Too much sauce. Can't go too deep into the corner here, and we see a lot of dive bombs here at Martinsville, and that becomes a bit of an issue. Well, Bria McShane came down. She just relinquished the lead over to Chris Reynolds, who may just sneak this one. This could get really interesting in terms of the championship, because if Reynolds wins, Turner fall back enough, Reynolds could be the points leader heading in the Michigan. We're just going to have to see how it all goes down. Let's get to the restart with Chris Reynolds leading. I'm actually going to get that right this time. I flip-flopped Fitzwater and Wilmington the last 2 times. My apologies for that. Chris Reynolds is, though, the official race leader here. Let's see what he does on the restart here in Martinsville. Back here at the Martinsville Speedway after our 3rd caution of the night here in the Virginia 65K. Chris Reynolds leading this field with Jesse Turner behind him. They're in 2nd. And William Brock also stayed out under the caution. Everyone else topped off on fuel and probably got tires. I didn't check to see that, though. Probably should have. McShane, Fitzwater, Faden, Logan Williams, Noah Clifton, Thomas Troxel, and Dan Park rounding out the top 10. Those 3 guys that have stayed out should be able to make it. It's just a matter of how will they hold everyone off. They got a lot of lap cars in between them, so it may play into their favor. Reynolds with a good, clean start. Pretty much the same can be said for Turner and Brock as well. And Reynolds going to try to put Master another lap down here and just have a clean racetrack and maybe pull away with this win, which would be huge for Reynolds, even if Turner finishes 2nd, because Reynolds would gain 50 points, or should I say 25 points to 18.7 points on him there, and that'd be a 5-point gap heading into Michigan. Fastest lap of the night, by the way, that's a bonus point if that driver finishes top 10. It's been Priya McShane in the 42. And if she finishes top 10, she'll get that bonus point for the fastest lap in this race. William Brock has gotten around Jesse Turner. I don't think Turner is quite up to speed considering the damage that he has. So now Turner falling back to 3rd. He's going to hope that Reynolds doesn't win this race, because now that's 10 points right there. And that'd be a 2-point lead heading into Michigan for Jesse Turner. Of course, this is the first time Turner's led in the points all season long. So we'll have to see if he can hold on to it. Because McShane is coming, Nathan Faden's coming, Fitzwater, Troxel, they're all going to come. And I believe they're going to have those fresher tires to their advantage. Stapleton, a lap car moving to the inside of Turner, and now McShane's going to have a shot here. Chris Reynolds in a good position. However, Will Parrish, even though he's a lap down, he's going to give him some trouble here, and that could give an opportunity to William Brock, of all people, to maybe steal this win. William Brock started off the season very strong, but he's been non-existent since 2021, essentially. And this series started in December. Chris Reynolds going to let Will Parrish go and maybe have a shot back at him. But William Brock is not going to let it slip away too easily. McShane will get around, and Turner there for 3rd. And number 17 falls back to the 4th position. However, Turner may have a run back to the inside here. He's not going to give it up easy. But he's got Faden, Fitzwater, Troxel, Williams, Dan Park, Brandon Elson, all these guys. Clifton right now outside the top 10. So that would be beneficial to Turner. The only guy really is Faden may close in a little bit on Turner because he just went around the 17. And then Chris Reynolds in the 22. Reynolds is like the one car in this field that actually has no damage at all. 22 has been keeping a nice clean race and definitely deserves to get this win if he can pull it off. Of course, Turner, I think, just wants to get something out of this one. I don't think he wants to leave Martinsville without any points added on. Because Michigan's a big wild card, and even Darlington's kind of a big wild card. I mean, this has turned into a big wild card race. I don't think these guys anticipated it being as all over the place as it has been tonight. And that is, in fact, how it's been. Fitzwater and Troxel both getting around Nathan Orman right here. So now Fitzwater and Troxel looking to close in on Turner. Turner currently 5th. That is 10 points towards the championship. And that would actually give Chris Reynolds the points lead as they currently run. But William Brock is right there. And William Brock may be Turner's saving grace in keeping this points lead, because if Brock gets the win, Reynolds finished 2nd. Oh boy, here we go. That 5's got to run to the inside, and just like that, they're side by side for the race lead. And out of nowhere, William Brock takes it away on lap 62. Be a pretty dark horse win for William Brock if he could pull it off here in Martinsville. But Reynolds isn't going to let him have it easy, and that 22 is nice and clean as well, and they're still side by side. Reynolds really working that outside lane to his advantage. But Will Parrish may get in the way of Reynolds being able to utilize that outside lane. Reynolds is doing an excellent job up top. He may lead this lap. He's not going to quite get there, but he's still side by side with William Brock. Next guy in line is Nathan Faden in third, 2.5 seconds back. You see this guy's back in there, so this win, given that this race can stay green, might just be between William Brock and Chris Reynolds. Reynolds is doing all he can on that outside lane, but he's wearing out his tires doing that. You might want to let William Brock go and then try to cross him over. Chris Reynolds, outside of a sprint win, is this be his biggest win if he could pull it off here tonight. But he's got to pull it off. And William Brock is an experienced veteran who knows how to get it done. Turner under fire from Fitzwater. That would be another position and 2 points lost for Turner if he can't hold him off, which doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Troxel in the 10. May also get around Turner here for the 6th position. And Reynolds got back around William Brock, and we completely missed it. It happens like all the time. And William Brock kind of holding in line right there now. That may have just been it for Chris Reynolds and William Brock in their battle. Troxel now getting around Turner. And now you got Logan Williams there, who may also get around the 17. So it's looking like we could see Chris Reynolds taking the points lead heading into Michigan. But he's got to win this race, I think, in order for that to happen. I don't know how much further back Turner's going to fall. I don't know if Williams will be able to get to him before the end of this one. And Noah Clifton still just outside the top 10. Tires are starting to even out for these guys up front as well, and that could definitely give an advantage to Chris Reynolds in this race. Might try to get back around Will Parrish, though. Don't know how much you want to wear those tires out. McShane still with the fastest lap, and she is top 10, so she would get that bonus point towards the championship. Oh boy, contact there with Will Parrish. He's got to be careful not to get taken out by the 3 machine. Will Parrish may cross over, and that might not be good for Chris Reynolds because William Brock's going to have a shot and move it back to the inside. It's far from over. Reynolds is going to let Parrish go, but he's going to have a terrible entry in the turn 1. And now back to the inside for the race lead. William Brock on Chris Reynolds. And he's not going to be able to hold that inside down the backstretch. And Reynolds still holding on to this race lead, but William Brock is right there. And he's got a little bit more room to get a good entry into the corner here as Reynolds battles with Parrish. Of course, Stapleton, Master, and Seth Cole all a lap down. Nathan Faden in third, McShane, Fitzwater, Troxel, and Turner. They would be tied for the points lead if Reynolds finished second and Turner finished 7th, but Brock may have just lost his shot at winning. Oh no, Reynolds coming down the pit lane. He ran out of fuel. Will Turner come down? They didn't quite have enough in the tank. Now the big question is, will Brock and Turner be able to make it to the end? 3 laps to go here in Martinsville. Oh, I don't think Brock's going to be able to make it. Oh, he's still staying out. What about Turner in the 17? He's still staying out. Reynolds just used up a little too much fuel. And that is going to take Reynolds out of contention for taking the points lead here tonight. He's going to go a lap down. William Brock holding on to the race lead. Oh, and around Nathan Faden in the 99 and Priya McShane. And Turner's going to gain some more ground as William Brock came down. And at the line, Fitzwater, I believe, is the new race leader. Right at the end of the race, William Brock couldn't make it. Will Turner be able to hold on? He's just got 1 lap under caution to make it, and he's got a podium finish here at Martinsville. Unbelievable. There's no reason to come down now. I mean, Turner's going to get a 3rd place finish out of all this, and he is going to hold on to the points lead. Turner was the only one able to get that strategy to work. William Brock could not make it to the end. Zachary Fitzwater, however, is going to tie Jesse Turner on the all-time wins list, and Fitzwater gets his 24th career win on the channel. Here tonight in the Wawa Pro Series at Martinsville, Troxel will have second, and Jesse Turner will finish in the third position, and William Brock taking his anger out at Fitzwater. It wasn't his fault, man. Unbelievable. Jesse Turner is going to remain the points leader. After all of that, he'll get third. McShane, I do believe, officially finished in the top 10. We may have to go back and review that. But she will get that bonus point towards the championship for the fastest lap. Oh my goodness. It's not every day you see something like that. But what a race this late in the season. We'll save it here to make it official because, oh, this is race 13. My bad there. One time, a couple of years ago, we tried doing a race here in the Cup Series, and we went all the way through, and I forgot to save it. And the game crashed when I stopped the recording. That's why sometimes you see me save all this stuff. Wow. Let's go ahead and see what happened there to bring all that out. Fitzwater takes the race victory here at Martinsville. Well, here we go. This is all what happened. And Chris Reynolds, the race leader here, is under fire from William Brock. But must have signaled that he was coming down. And right here, this is where it all turned over on its head. William Brock taking the race lead. And the big question was, will William Brock be able to make it? We knew that was going to be a concern. We knew that Turner was going to be a concern. And we really weren't focused on Brock when he came down the pit lane initially. He stayed out right here. Will Parrish came down ahead of him. He was essentially on the same strategy, even though he was a couple laps down. But then this is where things get a little interesting. Nathan Faden and Christian Master get caught up. I think Master tried to come down the pit lane here. I don't know. You see right here, Reynolds a lap down here, coming back off, and Master just gets in the Faden. That just really has nothing to do. I mean, Master, the only thing I can think of is that Master was trying to come down the pit lane and Faden was there. McShane then got spun around, and then William Brock right here is coming down the pit lane. He's done. So this right here is the pass for the lead. Fitzwater was fourth. McShane and Faden were the two who were going to come across and possibly take this win away. And then Fitzwater splits the two of them and takes the lead on the race back to the line. So right there, Fitzwater, and then Troxel and Turner, Logan Williams, Orman was a lap down, and then right there, Dan Park and Brandon Nelson. William Brock was officially 7th across the line. So he does get points in this race because he, at the line, even though he was on the pit lane, at the line, he was 7th. And when they cross the line, the field freezes. So it's Dan Park, Nelson, Lewis was a lap down. Dylan Young, I do believe, was on the lead lap at this point. And then Trey Wright and Priya McShane. Clifton did not receive any points there. So the top 10 officially is Fitzwater, Troxel, Turner, Williams, Dan Park, Brandon Nelson, William Brock, Dylan Young, Trey Wright, Priya McShane. I don't like doing that. Sorry, you guys saw the controls here. I actually may be wrong with this. McShane did beat Trey Wright across the line. So McShane is 9th, Trey Wright is 10th, and I do believe that is how it officially showed up on the ticker there. Or not on the ticker, but on the official standings of the race. But there's your winner, Zachary Fitzwater. Let's replay all that once again. So you see right here, right behind it, Faden gets spun around, and then Fitzwater drives by right as William Brock comes down the pit lane. William Brock could have won this race on the pit lane had there not been a pit road speed limit. But right there, Fitzwater takes it away here at Martinsville. And how about that for Zachary Fitzwater? These are unofficial standings right now. Of course, if there were any differences from how they did officially finish, we will let you know, and you'll see it there on your screen. But we do know for a fact that Fitzwater is the race winner here at the Martinsville Speedway, and Turner will officially get third there. I mean, that couldn't have gone any better for Jesse Turner at the end of that race. He was the one guy who stayed out there. William Brock, and this is where I think it gets a little interesting, because the caution came out, you know, when William Brock crossed the line, and I think he officially was 7th in the race back to the line. So that means William Brock does get that official finish. But we got to go back and review that to make it official. So if there is a change, especially inside that top 10, we'll let you know and we'll fix it up for you. But wow, what a race there at the end. And it all just turned over on its head right at the end of the race. Just not enough fuel for Chris Reynolds. That's the biggest one right there. Chris Reynolds was going to take the points lead at the end of this race, but he ran out of fuel right at the end. If this was a 75-lap race, he probably would have won. Those 2 extra laps is what completely screwed him over. And now he's going to be 27. He's going to be 27 points behind. He's outside of a full race, essentially. He could still theoretically take the points lead if everything goes his way in Michigan, but tell you what, that did not work out for him at all. And neither did it work out for pretty much anybody else except for Jesse Turner. Turner is going to pull away from this field. I mean, that couldn't have gone any better for him. And Turner's going to head into Michigan not with a full race point lead, but with a pretty comfortable point lead. And if he wins, I think he may clinch the championship next week. So Turner just had it all go his way there at the end. But it's been a while since we've had a race like this on the channel, but races like this are why I enjoy doing it. It's crazy stuff here in the Wawa Pro Series at Martinsville right near the end of the season. And it's going to be a while before we get another race like this, I feel like. But hey, thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Fitzwater for pulling it off here at the Martinsville Speedway. After all of that, he gets the win. Pretty much out of nowhere, too. And those guys had the strategy. They just didn't quite have enough fuel. Turner did. Turner was able to pull it off. But William Brock, Chris Reynolds, the other two guys who stayed out under that last caution, that third caution at least, they could not make it, but Turner was able to get it to work. He's the only one able to do it, and it goes his way. So unofficial top 10, this could be different depending on how it all sorted out. Fitzwater, Troxel, Turner, Williams, Dan Park, Brandon Nelson, William Brock, Dylan Young, Priya McShane, Trey Wright. But that is unofficial. If it is different, you'll see a different standing list there on top of what I am currently seeing myself. But I'm hoping that is not the case. Hoping that is the official top 10, because I don't want to have to go into Score 4 and actually go into Notepad essentially and edit a race file. That'd be quite a bit. Hey, thank you so much for watching here tonight. It was a long one, but hey, it was a fun one here. And hey, this happened to go out the same weekend as the real life Martinsville race. That was completely unintentional, but hey, you got some real life Martinsville racing coming up. Hopefully that stuff's good. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll try to do better the next time, and we will see you guys next time out in Michigan for the Michigan 100K there at the Michigan International Speedway. Congratulations to Zachary Fitzwater for winning here at Martinsville. Here are the point standings after 13 races. Only 2 races to go until we crown a champion. And that is it for me here from Martinsville. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you guys later.